Hi there. Today I'm going to be giving myself a Coronacut. It is time, and it's time to try this. You're going to need some tools. I've got here some clippers that I've had for years, attachments. The main thing about cutting your own hair is not panicking. This socket might short out any second. I got my clippers, they're working. Let's get to it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Usually I get like just trimmed around the ears. You can see where it's all growing in like a hippie. The thing is about hair, you can always go shorter. You can never go longer. So we're looking at, just, you want to work up and out, up and out. Okay, up and out. Up and out. So we're working up and out. Up and out. Working up and out. It's the angle I can see from. So we're going up and out. You want to keep your strokes consistently as you go up and out. Longer haircuts, less skill. Shorter haircuts, more skill. And the ability to see the back of your head is a really big deal when you're cutting hair. And I also have a receding hairline that has definitively held its line, much like the Russians against Napoleon in 1814 and 13. Napoleon invades Russia like in the fall. And he gets all the way to Moscow. Russia just, can't hold up the onslaught of the Grande Armée, this big army that Napoleon's assembled from all over the world. And they can't do it, but they can hold certain lines. And I feel like my hairline has kind of held that line. So I'm just like going up and out. I'm a little nervous here because, when you deal with a deception, you want to keep the deception going as long as possible. And my deception is right here. I've got a comb over. I know it's not like see, my hairline recedes way back there. Do with that information what you will. I would offer haircut, hamburger, and a theological argument for $5. And guys would come flocking for the burgers, for the haircuts, and for the theological argument. We often would debate subjects like, what would happen if Adam hadn't eaten the fruit, like in the garden. You have like Eve's got the fruit, Adam, she gives it to Adam, he eats it, and then they're both cursed, and they both have to leave the garden. What would happen if, Adam was like, nope, no, I'm not going to eat the fruit. No, I'm not interested. Sorry. And Eve gets kicked out, or would. So I had been reading this book of poetry about Adam and Eve by a Baptist poet from Southwestern Seminary. Calvin. What was his name? Anyway, a poet. He had this epic poetry, and he really pointed to Adam's eating the fruit as being an act of love. Like, he loved Eve so. Whoa, the guard came up, so here I am cutting. Adam eats the fruit as an act of love for his wife. He's like, if you're going to have to leave all this, I'm going to leave with you. I was debating this in the dorm with a couple guys. One of them was Kirby, a guy named Kirby, and he was from West Virginia, that's where the college was. And he was a good old boy from West Virginia, and he had a real devoted girlfriend of 3 years there at the college, and he was a little older than most of us that were still in our teens and early 20s, but I said, Adam was willing to go like outside the garden, outside of all this good stuff he had for a sinful woman, like literally the first sinner woman like ever in the history of the world. Like she just sinned big time. He's willing to like join her in that and leave the garden, leave all this for a sinful woman. And old Kirby looked up at me. I was cutting his hair. He said, Dave, sometimes life gets lonely without a sinful woman. I'll never forget that. So they were both sinners, really. Adam and Eve, classic human story. We've all been there, haven't we? They're like, you can do whatever you want except for this one thing. And that's the one thing you can't do. And Adam and Eve are like, okay. And they're like, what was that thing again? And they start thinking about it, and the snake talks to them. And, Adam's right there the whole time. Adam's like right there. So this idea that like Eve sins first, and then, she takes the bite first, but Adam is silent completely silent. And I think about all the times I've been silent when I should have said something. So the silence of Adam, you know, it's kind of how it goes a lot of times. So Eve gets blamed for everything, sin, death, and yet she bears the larger weight of the curse that comes to them in our origin story. Remember, it's mythology, so, you know, we're talking about stuff that is beyond the realm of what you could record with a video camera probably, but it's also not just in the realm of imagination. Mythology works in this weird way that you have like real events that are large, that are so seminal, or like a seed, they're so like influential on future events that the story itself from the beginning is told in a way that makes it easy to tell and easy to understand what really happened. So again, mythology, I think, happens. It does happen. It's happened. And yet the way it's told in a way that, one, heroes will hear it, so they'll get the message of the mythology, which is, you know, when you're in like a good situation, don't ruin it. Like, just don't ruin it. You got good fruit, you got a place to live, you know, but you will ruin it. That's the other message of Adam and Eve. Like, that's part of humanity. Now, I have a really like hairy neck, as you can see. So I'm going to do this with 0. I'm at 0. This is it. Down to 0. I'm going to leave the camera running. I haven't really practiced this, so I'm just going to trim what I can see here. Ooh, that looks terrible back there. Oh. But yeah, that's not really well faded back there, is it? See, it's the back that always gets you. Never the front. The front, we're pretty good at manipulating to make it look good. The back, not so much. Okay, I'm back to my half-inch trimmer. Just gonna smooth that back a little. I'm gonna smooth it going down with the grain of hair. Oh man, I look like one of those guys from Peaky Blinders or something. The next step is to go up. That same pattern of, so we had hair, standards at our school, Christian school I went to, and church too. So churches without like standards for haircuts are just weird to me now still. When I'm in a church with people that have any kind of hair you want, it's great. Because like the Bible says, it's a shame for a man to have long hair. St. Paul said that. What he was referencing, it's hard to know. Probably a cultural practice of the day that had to do with temple prostitution, maybe. I'm gonna like make my hair shorter, like all over, okay? And that's gonna help me with the fading a little bit. So what I'm doing, I'm just pulling it together and cutting like that. He said, hair is a woman's glory and long hair is a man's shame. And sort of a woman with a shaven head is a shame. And these were all practices in the ancient world of humiliating women by shaving their heads that were sold into slavery and other things. And men with long hair were probably priests or temple prostitutes and the religions of the day. So, or the thing is, people in the Bible had long hair. Some of them men had really long hair. Famously, Absalom, who gets his hair caught in a tree while he's running away from his father, his army, after his rebellion. And he's stuck in the tree by his hair. And everybody loved his hair. It was glorious. The Nazirite vow, which is the vow to like not cut your hair, is another one. Samuel takes this vow. It's given to your birth. Before you're born, your mother is told, he's the Nazirite. Don't cut his hair. Don't let him drink wine. Don't let him eat meat. So there's people with long hair in the Bible that were pretty awesome. So I don't know what Paul was talking about there, other than those really obscure and time-bound references to temple prostitution, which were other people that were somehow not doing good stuff, and you didn't really want to look like them. Samson, of course, another Nazirite. He, of course, loses his power when his hair is cut. So if you see any diminishing of my power, you'll know it was the Coronacut. Now you're seeing this a lot more clearly than I am, so comment if you see something I'm missing. Notice how red my neck gets. But you can put this, you know, this part of your clipper right on your skin. It won't hurt you. You got to go by feel. Trust your gut. You know, the hair-hand relationship is an ancient one, and you'll know it. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. My brother lives in China, and he's been living there all the way through the coronavirus pandemic there. Long before it hit the United States, they were sheltering in place with their young son, his wife, there in China. And he said the best way to avoid like doing things that'll get you sick is or spreading it to others is to shave your eyebrows, because you won't go anywhere. You'll need to wait till they grow back. So, you know, I'm not saying we should enforce any kind of mandatory policy on this, but that would work for a lot of people, I think. Work for me. I think I would be kind of hesitant to go out without eyebrows. A lot of my facial expressions depend on my eyebrows. Like, what? What? Like, whoa. Yeah. When I crane my neck a certain way, it's not bad. But I'm going to get this longest one I've got right here. Thick. Oh. Like Alan Thicke, the comedian, like Helmut Thicke, the mirror, the German chancellor from some time, president, was he? Here I'm going to go down to try to organize that a little bit, and I think we got ourselves a haircut. Remember, you're working backwards and upside down, so your sense of direction is, oh, there it goes, okay. Always going to be a little off. That's the culprit right there. And I'm flying real dangerously here. Don't try this at home, kids. It's hard to tell. There's a lot about hair in the Bible. Esau was a hairy baby when he was born. Like that was like red hair all over him. And but my favorite Bible verse about hair is in the Sermon on the Mount, where Jesus says that you're not supposed to worry, like, because even the hairs of your head are numbered, like all of them. All these are numbered by God. Like God knows you really well. I have a son, and I have 3 sons, but I have a little son. He's little, and I can still cut his hair, and it's still like I know his hair. I know like his hair. Like I know where it is and how it lays and how to cut it. And as a barber, as an amateur barber, I knew people's hair. I could like know what to do with it and how to get it right, and you know how to give them the best haircut they could give. And God knows how to give you the best haircut in the world. He knows your head. He knows your hairs, how many there are, how few there are, how many there are. And because he knows the number of hairs in your head, you don't have to worry, he says. Like, give it to God. If God knows that about you, God knows everything about you. And he's going to get you through the stuff that you're going through. And that's always a comfort for me. The haircut. You can see that there. I don't know camera angles. But that's the haircut. It looks a little greasy because I actually have real grease in my hair from the trimmers. All right. Thanks all. Remember to subscribe to this channel and share it with your friends or people that you think might need a haircut lesson. All right.